Sorry, I think I got a little loud. I apologize. Thank all you for being here tonight for our Committee of the Whole meeting for our June 4th, 2019 City Council meeting. We're calling this meeting to order. You have the minutes from the Committee of the Whole meeting from May the 21st. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? If not, do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes from May 21st carry. Indian Pines Recreation Authority, Mayor Pro Tem Whitten.
Absolutely. It is my recommendation. We've had 2 applicants, and I would like to nominate Robert Norman, known as Bob Norman, for that vacancy.
We have a nomination of Bob Norman. Are there any other nominations from the council?
Well, it needs a second.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Thank you, Beth. I apologize. I missed a meeting. I'm out of practice here. Thank you. We have a motion and a second, okay? Thank you for that correction. Okay, are there any other nominations from the council?
I'd like to nominate Wade Bennett.
All right, we have a motion for Wade Bennett. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second for Wade Bennett. So Megan, I believe we take these in order. So Mr. Norman was nominated first. So all those.
I'd like to remind you, though, that everybody should just vote for one. I think last meeting procedurally, we had 2 votes, and it would be easier if you held a vote and only voted for which candidate your preference was.
But correct, you're still allowed, I mean, once one candidate is no longer a candidate, then the second person is open for any council person to vote on.
You can, and procedurally, there were some questions after the last meeting, and it's not that anything was done incorrectly, but because there were only 8 members, that definitely caused a split vote at that time. But you have a choice. The council has done it both ways. Procedurally, you can just take one at a time, and each of you can just cast a vote for one person, or you can take them one at a time, and all of you can vote each time, however you want to do it.
Okay, so if we take them one at a time, if a person were to get a majority vote, then we don't vote on the second
Correct.
person. Is that correct? Okay. All right. So we'll take them chronologically here. Mr. Norman was nominated first. So all those in favor of Bob Norman, please raise your right hand. Is that 5? All right. There'll be 5 votes. That's the majority. So we'll nominate Bob Norman later on in the agenda. Academic Detached Dwelling Unit Ordinance Amendment Discussion. Councilman Griswold.
Thank you very much, and I'd like to thank the city staff for assisting me in wording this such a way that we can present it to the council this evening. You have it in front of you in writing, so I ask the council to consider initiating action to amend the zoning ordinance. Specifically, amend the zoning ordinance Article 4, General Regulations, Table 4-1, Performance Residential Development, Academic Detached Dwelling Units to prohibit ADDUs in the North Auburn Historic District and on properties directly abutting the North College Historic District. And as I've written on your note there, this is the same way that prohibitions of ADDUs in the NRD and RDD districts west of Donahue was codified. So, our rationale for this is that we have a very small, limited historic district in Auburn. There's a specific commission that oversees development in the district in terms of design and certificates of appropriateness. However, the zoning ordinance as written does include some properties in the historic district as eligible for conditional approval for ADDUs. I would like to safeguard the small historic district that the city currently has.
Megan, could we consider Councilman Griswold as a motion?
He can if he officially moves, it just make it official, and then procedurally, this is exactly meeting your ordinance, your procedures for modifying ordinances that you adopted in November of 2018 is your general procedure. So this is following exactly as it should.
Councilman Griswold, would you like to make a motion for this?
Discussion before or after the motion?
We'll have a discussion after the motion.
I'd like to move that the council proceed with this as written.
Second.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. What we'll be asking the city manager to do is to have this presented to the planning commission for the planning commission to fully vet this, discuss this, and vote on it, okay? So that's what we're asking to do. That's what we're considering here tonight. This is not a consideration whether we are in favor or not of this amendment, okay? This is just saying that we would ask the city manager to have the planning commission fully vet this, okay? And eventually vote on it. And then it would eventually come back to the city council for our final vote. So that's what we're considering here tonight. Now, are there any discussion or questions?
I have a couple questions. One would be, if this is sent to planning for consideration and planning comes back with no action, then nothing is to be, we don't do anything further, correct?
That's one possibility.
One second. The discussion will be that actually, what Forrest is right, it's one possibility. The thought would be that this would go in the form of an ordinance to the Planning Commission. They may choose to vote it up or down, but it would go in the form of an ordinance change.
Yeah, what we'll do is we'll legally advertise it presumably for the July 11th meeting. The Planning Commission will render their recommendation. Staff will produce a staff report, and we'll provide a recommendation to the commission as we would in any other instance. And if everything follows its normal course, it would be back in front of this council at your second meeting in August.
All right, second question is, if it's in front of planning and planning, let me back up one moment there. Are we in this discussion today talking about the merits of this, or are we just talking about sending it to planning?
All we're talking about, the way I understand, Megan, that all we're talking about is sending this to the city manager over to the planning commission.
Okay.
Correct?
Correct. All right, and so planning could make a recommendation to amend this presented ordinance.
Yes, they can. It will be, Forrest can cover this further, it'll be advertised as such as however it comes out from Planning Commission, whether it's approved with changes, not recommended for approval, whatever recommendation comes out will be still advertised with the language decided or not decided at that meeting. Once it's fully advertised and reaches your agenda again, you have the ability to modify it during that meeting should you choose to approve it. You have to take it as is, to modify it, or not approve it altogether, however you choose.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions or discussions from the council?
One quick on how will this be interpreted from the planning commission? I mean, are they going to see this as
Well, what I'll do, what I normally do is a couple days out of the packet, the planning commission packet actually getting delivered to their homes, they get fairly regular communication from me because the planning commission does adjust itself over time, so they get an initial draft right after the deadline, but then we have applications withdrawn, tabled, what have you, so they get pretty regular communication. What I would intend to do tomorrow is kind of give them an update on what occurred here last night, kind of convey to them what my understanding is, the will of the council. I would expect they would want to talk about it some at the end of the packet meeting. We'll have a packet meeting on Monday, and we'll proceed, as I understand it, to go ahead and, my understanding is the desire is to have the ordinance prepared, advertised, and considered in a public hearing by the Planning Commission. And so based on that, that's what we intend to do.
Okay, any other questions? Discussion? Okay, at this time, we're gonna take a vote on this, which is different than we've done in times past. In times past, I've kind of checked the pulse of the council by looking at you and seeing if you've nodded your head or whatever, but I think for what we need to do moving forward is make this more official. So we'll take a vote tonight. So all in favor of moving this amendment, to this zoning ordinance, to the city manager, over to planning commission, all who is in favor of that action, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, so the motion carries.
And do I need to provide this to the city clerk?
City clerk has a copy of that,
Right.
thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions on the agenda for Assistant City Manager Crouch? Any questions? Sure.
Do you mind going over this for us? I know you briefly said it.
Absolutely. We included on the dais for you tonight that was not included in your packet. I wanted to be sure, when you look at a right-of-way drawing in your packet, sometimes it looks like it's in space. So our engineering services department, along with assistance from the GIS division, brought some information forward. The yellow line that you see is the right-of-way that you'll be considering in it's a resolution on agenda item 10A this evening to abandon the yellow portion, and this is part of the Woodward Oaks development. And the red dotted lines you see will be how the road will be reconstructed. For your information, the dark blue colors are existing structures. I wanted to be sure we illustrated to you if there would be existing residents who would be affected by this abandonment and reconstruction of the road. So on either side of the yellow line, as you see, that is all under the ownership of the Woodward Oaks development, and then the red line is where they will dedicate and rebuild a road, and we actually won't give this property up completely until they build the new road to our satisfaction, but you're agreeing to this transaction in part tonight.
Any other questions?
Oh, yes. Megan, is there any way I can get you to provide me with the construction that was done in Northwest Auburn last month? I think it was you sent out something where y'all was doing construction, like to road sidewalks, and I need to provide me with what was done in Northwest Auburn.
You need a list of the items that were worked on as part of the neighborhood cleanup efforts?
Yes.
All right, hold on just a second. I know we don't have that. Do you want, Mary, you have a couple of minutes. Do you want
We're good.
Scott, Cummings, Tim Whitty, and
Would
Al
you like a
Davis to
report
maybe?
now, Connie? I'm sorry, Megan. Would you like a report now, or would you like for Megan just, okay.
Please.
We'll take a couple of minutes. Which one are you want to take? Scott or Tim?
Yeah, in actuality,
Hold on.
I said, so compiling all the information now, we're gonna provide a report to the city manager, and he was gonna subsequently provide it to you. And that way, you'll have the, you'll have the linear footage of how much sidewalk was laid, how many tons of asphalt was laid, how many tons of debris was collected, et cetera. So I can give you totally accurate numbers if we can provide that report to the city manager.
Okay, well, that'll work.
Okay. As soon as we receive that report, we will forward it to you.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? If not, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second, Committee of the Whole is adjourned. Council meeting will start at 7 o'clock, so there'll be a few minutes here. attention, we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order of the Auburn City Council on June the 4th, 2019. Lindsay?
Dawson,
Here.
Dixon,
Here.
Griswold,
Here.
Covey,
Here.
Carson,
Here.
Smith,
Present.
Taylor,
Here.
Witten,
Here.
Anders.
Here. Would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. The first meeting of each month is a great time for us to recognize those who have done an outstanding job on behalf of our city as the Employee of the Month. And so at this point in time, if I can ask Ms. Connie Hall to come forward. How you doing, Connie?
Good. How about you, sir?
Doing fine, doing fine. Stand here so the camera can see you right there, okay? All right, so we've got a memo here from Scott Cummings and Tim Woody, so they're kind of going through a transition. So you had two department heads recommend you. That's pretty good. You must have done a good job to City Manager Jim Buston. The purpose of this memorandum is to nominate Connie Hall as the City of Auburn's June 2019 Employee of the Month. Ms. Hall served the Public Works Construction and Maintenance Division prior to the city's reorganization and continues to be a valuable employee as Administrative Secretary for Public Works. Her performance has been exemplary, and her customer service has been a joy to observe. Ms. Hall plays a significant role in the overall success of the Public Works operations. Ms. Hall adapted well to the changes in the Public Works Department after the city's reorganization. She continued to process customer calls, process requisitions, manage the fuel system, monitor and order office supplies, assist with time cards, and handle other administrative duties for our staff during this transition. Ms. Hall worked with and trained our administrative assistant following the merger of the departments during the reorganization, and has shown the initiative time and time again to coordinate with the finance department and coach the public works staff on various functions of our new financial management software. I've been doing this for 7 months and nobody's ever used the word coach. You must be special. All right, Ms. Hall took the initiative to learn how to use the city's new financial management software and has been instrumental to Public Works in that transition. Ms. Hall now routinely coaches others with a compassionate spirit so that we get everything done correctly and in a timely fashion. Additionally, Ms. Hall routinely receives compliments for her customer service and how she professionally and promptly addresses matters reported by phone and email. She is courteous and helpful and often calms upset customers with her prompt response to help resolve matters. I have received a number of compliments from customers who state that she provided the most professional experience they have had dealing with the city. The Public Works Department's customer service successes begin with Ms. Hall's leadership on our administrative staff. Connie Hall provides a benchmark for customer service in Public Works, not only to the citizens of Auburn, but also to her fellow staff. Her unwavering commitment to supporting others shines each day with her pleasant attitude and courteous and caring way she treats others. Connie, congratulations. Congratulations. Thank you. Great work. Okay, now we have a number of service awards. 5 years, Office of the City Manager, A.J. Harris. "10 years from the Public Works Department, Rick Willman. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it, man. Okay, from Environmental Services Department, the Solid Waste Division, 25 years, Harry Foster. Also from Environmental Services Department, the Recycling Division, 25 years, Norman Pitts. And I know Norman is not with us here tonight, but we'll make sure we'll get his to him. So let's just go ahead and give him a hand, though. Thank you, Norman. Our final recognition service award tonight, 25 years, Public Safety Department, Fire Division, our Chief, John Langford. Okay, if I could have Miss Penny Smith and her great and wonderful staff come forward. All two of you tonight?
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
Representative
We're very proud tonight to recognize Penny and her staff with a biannual budget award. Please recognize the efforts of all departments and their contribution to the biannual budget. In particular, please recognize the efforts of Human Resources, Finance, and the Office of the City Manager in the design, review, and presentation of the budget document. For the 22nd consecutive year, for the 13th time, I'm not sure how that's supposed to read, but this is...
Biennial budget.
Okay, there you go. It's math, right? And the City of Auburn has received the Government Finance Officers Association Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for our city's budget. The award represents a significant achievement by the City of Auburn. It reflects the commitment of the governing body and staff to meet the highest principles of governmental budgeting. In order to receive the GFOA Budget Award, Auburn has to satisfy nationally recognized guidelines for effective budget presentation. These guidelines are designed to assess how well an entity's budget serves as a policy document, a financial plan, an operations guide, and a communications device. Budget documents must be rated proficient in all 4 categories and the 14 mandatory criteria within those categories to receive this award. Award recipients have pioneered efforts to improve the quality of budgeting and provide an excellent example for other governments throughout North America. I commend the collaborative effort of all involved to bring our governing body a transparent and comprehensive document which effectively communicates the biannual budget process, accounting and decision points on which management can plan and shape this city's future. That's a memo from City Manager Jim Buston. Thank you, Penny, for your great work. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations. In Mayor's communications tonight, I just want to make a couple of comments. First of all, another outstanding Mayor's Memorial Day breakfast. I appreciate everybody that was here, that came to that. I appreciate the council members that supported that event. I thank the Economic Development Department, and especially Andrea, for her hard work. I thought it was a special event with some special recognitions, and it was a very proud moment for our city. So I just want to thank everybody that was involved with that. I haven't been to a council meeting since my father passed, and I just want to tell the council and the staff how much I appreciate your support, and many of you reached out to my family during that time. Wasn't able to be here 2 weeks ago because my daughter graduated from high school, and I want to thank the council and particularly Mayor Pro Tem Beth Whitten for continuing on. Just a couple of other things. The council has an opportunity to go through training with the Green Dot program on campus. Some of you might know about the Green Dot program. I'll just read a quick paragraph from the Green Dot program. This model targets all community members as potential bystanders and seeks to engage them through awareness, education, and skills practice and proactive behaviors that establish intolerance of violence as the norm. So this is something that's been promoted on campus. There are many administrative people on campus, students on campus campus who have gone through this training. We were given a presentation by the people from Student Affairs about a month ago, and I'm proud that our council is going to have a time as volunteers to go through this training next week, and look forward to doing that, and thank the university for allowing their resources to be utilized to help us out. The service for Will Beekner was special, and a lot of coordination went into that. I really appreciate our public safety as they mourned losing one of their own, to how they performed professionally to assimilate all the people that came to our community and that traveled through our community over to Town Creek Cemetery. It was a very honorable moment for Will and for our public safety and for his family, and so a lot of work went into that. I'm also thankful for Auburn's athletic department and Auburn University for allowing us to utilize the arena for the service. As it ended up, it was the right place for us to do that with the amount of people that came and the amount of cars and vehicles that showed up. A very sad time for our community that I know y'all discussed 2 weeks ago, but I thought it was very honorable service on his behalf. So anyway, thank you for everybody that's helped with that. And that is all I have for tonight. Does any other council members have any announcements they'd like to make?
I'd like to echo what you said about the funeral services for Beek. You'll never know how much we appreciate the way the community turned out for that funeral, and lined the streets on the route to the cemetery. I've been to a lot of police officers' funerals, never seen one that well attended and that many people in town that came out. I think we can all agree on one thing: we care about our police department, and it shows. And don't think they don't notice it, and how much we appreciate it. It's an honor and a pleasure to work as a police officer in this community, serving citizens such as yourselves that would turn out for a police officer's funeral like that. So, from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Anybody else from the council have an announcement? Yeah.
This week marks the 75th anniversary of D-Day. An entire generation of Americans and others were embarking about 75 years ago today. When you happen to see a World War II veteran, and there's not many of them left anymore, please be sure to thank them. Excuse me. My father jumped into Normandy 75 years ago, later this week. And we owe so much to those folks. So please take an opportunity to thank them all.
Thank you, Kelly. Anyone else on the council?
Yes.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I want to announce the Ward 1 meeting at Boykin on June 10th at 6:00 p.m. And all are invited to attend. And I also want to make an announcement about a meeting at Boykin tomorrow night. And if you don't mind, Megan, if Mr. Davis can pretty much just say what the meeting is referencing.
The meeting is referencing for tomorrow evening? Mr. Davis?
Tomorrow evening, we will start the process of the 2020-2024 consolidated plan for the CDBG program. So it will start almost not quite a year-long process, but it will start a process that will end next February. So there's be a series of meetings throughout this whole period of time to give citizen input on the plan, on what we would like to do as part of our CDBG program for the next 5 years, things we've done well in the past, things that the citizens might want us to do a little different, activities that we've done in the past. Citizens have opportunity to also give us an idea of some other things we might want to do going forward. So this will be the first of just a series of meetings that we'll have. Not only will we have, this is a stakeholder meeting as we call it, but we'll have another one of these. We will have public hearings. We'll do presentations at churches. We'll have meetings with agencies that work with us, our partners. So it's a pretty long process. So by the end of it, hopefully we'll have had wonderful input and a good, solid CDBG consolidated plan for the next 5 years.
The time for that meeting?
It's 5 o'clock tomorrow, but all the meetings after that will be held at 6.
Thank you.
Al, do you want to cover real quick what our annual allocation roughly is, so the dollar amount that we're talking about, just so that people understand?
As most of you probably do know, Auburn is an entitlement city, which means that we get annual appropriations. We don't actually have to submit an application for funding, we actually get funding every year. Our allocation is about $590,000, somewhere in that range. We have seen it decrease significantly over the last 10 years or so. So we've seen those CDBG dollars go down, but we've stayed pretty consistent the last couple of years at about $590,000.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else from the council?
I do have one announcement. I'm hosting a Ward 3 Stakeholder Meeting on Monday, June 17th at 5:30. The location is being confirmed, and that will be announced at a later time this week. But this is an opportunity, and the reason it's called a Stakeholder Meeting is because I've invited the county commissioners who are over Ward 3, our representatives at the state level that are over Ward 3. So far I have Commissioner Ham and Commissioner Ekman, Representative Lovern, and State School Board Representative Ms. West, who are committed to coming. So that's an opportunity for constituents in Ward 3, and anyone is invited, just to kind of meet and greet and know who our stakeholders, just to go back and forth and know that we all work collaboratively together. And I know Commissioner Ham is going to give an update on the tornado response, and that was a prime example of how this community from the county, state, and city level work together. So just an opportunity to meet each other personally, ask questions, and just and going forward know that you have someone you can reach out to.
What's your date again?
Monday, June 17th at 5:30.
Anyone else?
I'd like to chime in real fast. We've highlighted, almost unfortunately, the last few weeks, our public safety department and, in the work they do here. Chief Langford and family left shortly after our little presentation earlier, but I wanted to highlight Lauren, his wife, and highlight, our public safety officers' families, and the sacrifices that they put in every third day, for Lauren. I remember when John was, he left before. I think he was a little bit worried that I was going to ride him a little bit. I was a rookie firefighter in June of '97, and so I was scared to do that math. Was that 22 years ago? And so I've got lots of stories on John, but Lauren has been there the whole time sacrificing, for his family, and it's very much a familial unit that our public safety officers operate under, and so we certainly want to highlight them and appreciate them in light of all the attention here lately.
Thank you, Jay. Anyone else?
I don't believe we mentioned this last meeting because I think the announcement came out, but I wanted to congratulate Dr. Kristen Herron on her selection as superintendent. As having 2 children that are going to be in our school system, I'm very excited about that selection. I think the Board of Education made a fantastic decision, and I feel very confident in the future of our school system based on that.
Yeah, we look forward to working with Dr. Herron and look forward to celebrating Dr. Delano's career here too in the future. All right, anyone else? Okay, Auburn University Communications. Might want to introduce yourself, Jack.
No, sir, I won't introduce myself again. Well, I guess I'll, yeah. So my name is Jack Renfro. I know it's been a couple weeks since my first meeting.
I wasn't here for that, so I'll tell you.
Hey.
I apologize.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's good to be back. Yeah. So I'll jump right into it. One thing that we've kind of decided to start doing this week is a student or student organization spotlight. So this week, that person is, and I hate he couldn't be here, but he's had football camp all day. But it's Derek Brown. Many of y'all know Derek Brown as he's going into his 4th year as our starting defensive tackle. What many of you might not know about Derek Brown is he is a marketing major in the Harvard School of Business. He also serves on the Student Athletic Committee. He's the vice president, and he also serves on the SEC Football Leadership Council. So it's a pretty impressive student juggling all those things at the same time. I know I'm in the School of Business, and that alone it can take a lot. So it's pretty impressive that he's able to handle all that. So getting into our announcements, I'd like to let y'all know that registration for the homecoming parade has opened up. That parade will take place September 13th at 6 p.m. And we invite all local businesses. Students will obviously be involved in other organizations. So we invite any local business to sign up for that. Also, we would like to invite y'all to attend some of our Camp War Eagle pep rallies. These are, this is a lot of the first time that some of these families have been in Auburn, and these pep rallies are just a good way to show the families and the future students the Auburn spirit and kind of what we're about. So we would love for y'all to come join us at some of those. A couple of dates for those. We've got one coming up actually this Thursday, the 6th. And all of these take place from 7:30 to 8 sharp. They last 30 minutes. The next one after that is Monday the 10th, June 10th. And after that, we have Thursday the 13th. So those all take place at Jordan Hare. Just enter through gate 5. And so yeah, they're a lot of fun. One of my favorite parts of Camp War Eagle for sure. So would love to see some of you guys there. Also, I wanted to let y'all know about we have freshman Lauren Bradford from Gulf Shores. She will be representing Auburn. She will be representing Auburn for Miss Alabama competition this week. Her platform is digital dieting. I don't know if y'all have heard about that, but I had to look that up actually. So basically it's taking a break from technology, it sounds like. Sounds like a thing we could all use. So
Thank you, Jack.
That's all I got for you tonight, and look forward to seeing y'all, I guess, next meeting.
Okay.
So,
I'll see you Thursday night. I'll be playing parent at the
good
pep
deal.
rally, so.
All right. Thank you all.
Yeah, thank you, man. Okay, now it's time for citizens' communications on the agenda items. Please remember, this is only to do with items that are on our agenda tonight. If you have anything you'd like to address the council, please come forward and give your name and address for the record, and you have 5 minutes to speak to the council. Anyone? Okay, seeing no one. Assistant City Manager?
All right, Mayor, under City Manager's Communications this evening, we have an announcement of 2 vacancies on the Auburn Downtown Redevelopment Authority. 6-year terms begin on July 19th, 2019, and end on July 18th, 2025. The appointments will be made at the July 2nd, 2019 meeting. Our second item of business is the consent agenda. Does any council member wish to remove an item from the consent agenda and deal with that item individually?
Yes, item C1.
All right, 8C1.
Yes, thank you, 8C1.
Anything else? Okay, would you like to work with the consent agenda first and then consider 8C1
Sure.
after that?
Thank you, Megan. So at this point in time, we'll go ahead and evaluate the consent agenda minus 8C1. So do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Move for approval. Second.
All right, we have a motion second. All in favor of the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, the consent agenda has been approved. All right, Megan?
All right, item 8C1 is a contract with D&J Enterprises for the Wright Street Streetscape project in the amount of $700,375. The project will include construction of sidewalks, stormwater and sanitary sewer extensions in preparation for the Wright Street parking deck project, as well as the installation of decorative pedestrian lighting along Wright Street. Some of this coincides with the opening of 191 College and some work that wasn't completed because of the Wright Street parking deck project was under consideration.
All right.
For approval. Second.
All right, we have a motion second. Any questions for Assistant City Manager? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries. Ordinances.
All right, under ordinances this evening, item 9A is exempting specified items from the city's 4% sales tax during the 2019 back-to-school sales tax holiday weekend, which is always held on the third full weekend in July, and that is this year, July 19th through the 21st.
I'll introduce the ordinance and ask for unanimous consent.
We have a motion and a second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward with a vote on this tonight? If not, are there any questions? Megan, the list of all the things that are tax-free, where can a citizen find that easily?
I'll see if Penny knows. I mean, I'm sure this is posted on our website, and I'm sure we can help put out some information, but let me double check with our finance director.
Okay, sure.
It's on the state Department of Revenue website. It's right there at the beginning. They can go and select that statewide sales tax holiday, and it's right there. And then also we will have it posted on our own website at auburnalabama.org.
Thank you. Thank you. So we have a motion and a second. Okay. Lindsay?
Rawson,
Yes, ma'am.
Dixon,
Yes.
Griswold,
Yes, ma'am.
Hovey,
Yes, ma'am.
Parson,
Yes.
Smith,
Yes, ma'am.
Taylor,
Yes.
Witten,
Yes.
Anders.
Yes.
All right, item 9B is a commercial development agreement between the City of Auburn and Weagle, Inc. for another Broken Egg Cafe. The agreement includes a rebate of sales taxes generated of up to $15,000 per year for a period not to exceed 10 years. A public hearing is required.
This time we'll open the public hearing. If you'd like to address the council, please come forward and give your name and address for the record. Okay. Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing.
I'll introduce ordinance to ask unanimous consent.
Second.
We have a motion second. Does anyone on the council have a problem moving forward to vote on this evening? If not, questions? Megan, can you this is the first time this particular council has entertained a commercial development agreement. Can you summarize the history of this program?
Absolutely. This program was established in 2011 by the City Council at that time, and it was the culmination of quite a few years of working through a number of incentive programs. And finally, the state of Alabama passed something called Amendment 772, which allowed municipalities, if city councils determine that it's appropriate, to give sales tax dollars directly to private entities and other sources of revenue. And with that, the city created this program first to address Opelika Road, but also to address the needs of small businesses wanting to locate in the city, competition reasons, our major corridors, and to positively influence architectural change on some of our buildings that we weren't seeing. We also wanted to really focus on the redevelopment of a number of projects. At the time, we were facing a lot of vacant car dealerships. We were facing a lot of vacancies on Opelika Road and large changes in the mall and other key commercial locations throughout the city. So this program was established. It was introduced at a council meeting and committee of the whole. A month later, it was adopted. To date, we have, the staff has presented 32 projects to the city council, and the city council has moved forward with those 32 projects. 23 of those are locally owned entities, and what I mean is it's local developers doing local things. There are some people that, if I say local, I mean they live in Auburn. I don't mean that they live in Opelika or they live in Montgomery. I mean Auburn specific when I say local. To date, it's generated, and these numbers aren't updated to exactly today, but over $22 million in taxes for the city, and we've paid out about $6.3 million in payments, so it's returning over 200% on the investment. And the goal was also to very much make sure Auburn remained competitive. Keeping those sales tax dollars in Auburn for these projects makes a difference for our schools and makes a difference for the city's general fund, and that is also a key reason why we moved this project or this program forward to the council.
And the two owners of this LLC are locals, is that correct?
Yes, and actually, I would like to introduce you. We're very appreciative of their investment in the city. Ron and Teresa Shire, if you'd like to stand up, I'd really appreciate that if you want to say a few things. Ron or Teresa, if you want to.
We'd love for you to say something if you'd come to the, yeah, that'd be great.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to come back to Auburn. I'm a retired Army officer. My wife is a teacher here at Ogletree. We're blessed. It's been a result of a lot of prayer and trying to, when we moved back 7 years ago, our thought was we want to give back to the community that's given me so much. I love this community and everything that it's done for my family and my daughters. So we're excited to be able to do this. It's a great concept, great franchise. I know a lot of people are excited about it already, but it's about serving other people, and that's what we want to do. So we're very blessed. The city's been just exceptionally helpful for me. It's been a long process, and they've held my hand through this whole process, and I'm very grateful for it. Thank you.
We appreciate you being willing and interested in opening a business in our community too. So thank you. Any other questions for the?
Megan, I have a question about this being my first experience with this, and I'm excited for y'all. Best of luck to you. In terms of the timing of our involvement, is this a standard spot in the order of operations for City Council's involvement?
This particular project, I would say, is unique. We first met Ron last summer, and this is when he said it has been a long time in the process. Normally, you would see something sooner, and you would see it before they were getting ready to open, and those pictures are very much in your packet, and we're indicating that. What happened here is, ironically, we have very, very strict application requirements and a lot of paperwork that must be submitted to the staff that we then in turn evaluate. We also vet. I'm wearing two hats here, my commercial development hat and the assistant city manager hat, that we evaluate with the city manager and the finance director and go through return on investment, all of those things. But we have a lot of moving parts, and normally you would see this much sooner. But sometimes I talked to somebody, 3 years ago, and then they arrive 3 years later with an application and decide to begin a project. So normally you'll see these sooner. This is very much a unique circumstance. And what we were working to do is we made a commitment last summer when we first met with Ron that if he was willing to place another Broken Egg location in Auburn, we would recommend as a staff, if all the paperwork and numbers and all our program criteria worked out, that we would recommend a rebate to the City Council. And we remain true to our word that we are recommending this to you, but I assure you normally you see them sooner.
Megan, would you consider this a competitive situation?
Absolutely. And also, along with the Shires, we have the real estate broker, Ray Jones. He's with the shopping center group, and he's here. Ray contacted us about this initially, and that's why Ray's here today. I want to be sure you had all the information that they're looking at multiple locations. Your executive summary in your packet indicates additional and adjacent jurisdictions. That's very normal. And what we were trying to do, our citizens have long been asking specifically for this restaurant and franchise to be in Auburn. We had local people who this is not their core business, who are all in on developing a restaurant in Auburn. They also have franchise rights to Montgomery, and we were trying to swing the pendulum also to get them to invest here first. And I want our citizens to get what they want, and I want this revenue in Auburn as my role as a city staff member is to generate revenue and keep our citizens and citizens from other jurisdictions, get them to shop in Auburn and purchase in Auburn. So absolutely, this was competitive. If you have questions, both the Shires and Ray Jones can speak to that, but they were looking at other locations outside of our jurisdiction.
Okay. Any other questions?
I would just like to say I've seen over the last several years, as Megan mentioned, the success of this program. And you may have mentioned this, but these don't abate any taxes that go to our schools or Lee County Development, correct? Correct. There's a 4% local sales tax, 1.25%. Technically, through our budgeting process and so on, goes to Auburn City Schools, so that leaves 2.75% of our local sales tax remaining. We won't share more than half of that because the city needs to protect some revenue, so that's 1.375%. When I say $15,000 up to, and for not more than 10 years, they're capped at that amount a year. So even if their sales go crazy and off the charts, which is great for all of us, they're very profitable. We make more taxes, but some jurisdictions just say you can get whatever you want up to a dollar amount, and we cap annually and in total also so we can budget. And it is not in any way taking away from Auburn City Schools. It is helping support them by it being located in the city limits. Additionally, we have 39 full-time equivalents, which will create occupational tax.
Absolutely. And this particular franchise, without getting into the specifics, says a lot of really good things. The Shires are very committed to that, but this franchise requires a lot of things be done specifically for the employees and to keep them engaged and loyal. And also it's a two-way street and invested in the business, and that's a good thing.
Well, I've dined in another Broken Egg many a time at the beach, and so I'm equally excited, and yes, their culture is very strong from a service industry, and I applaud your investment. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'd like to also thank y'all for your interest in Auburn. I have to piggyback a little bit on what Bob said. Seeing this at the 11th hour when signs are already up and getting ready to open the doors, I mean, the Shires took a significant risk doing this without prior approval. So again, I fully applaud y'all. I'm looking forward to dining there. But I would hope that in the future that the city council can get a little bit more heads up on some of these before it's almost too late to act.
Absolutely, and again, this is highly unusual, and I appreciate the question, and that is not the intent to get things to you, but it is from a commitment level from staff, we wanted to bring it forward, and this was the earliest opportunity.
I've never eaten at another Broken Egg. What type of food, what type of restaurant is it?
It's a breakfast and lunch.
That's a lunch, breakfast and lunch only. You close at 2 p.m.?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, it's breakfast and lunch only 7 days a week?
Yes, 7 days a week. We're only closed twice a year, Thanksgiving, Christmas. But it's a chef-inspired menu. It's Louisiana-based seafood, a lot of seafood, and Southern-inspired cuisine. So we change the menu out 4 times a year, and everything's fresh. And lobster omelets and beignets, and crab, eggs Benedict with fried green tomatoes and crab, and it's very tasty.
Sounds good.
And also to highlight, they're doing a unique thing in the marketplace. In collaboration with staff, they made some changes to the building that included some private dining space. We have a lot of groups that have prayer breakfasts, like to meet in the morning, and it's, this isn't marketing 101, but I think this is a unique aspect that we're encouraging restaurants to do to serve other needs in the community. And you want to talk briefly about that?
Yes, we, my church, we meet in small groups quite often, and I wanted to open that door for people to come in and have privacy in a restaurant. So we have a private area of 28 seats. It's open, but we can close. There are huge barn doors we close, and that allows businesses, athletic functions, or whatever that we'll make available to everybody. So,
What's the hours?
7 a.m. to 2 p.m. So it's optimum hours. We attract that mid-career professional, that service industry that has the kids at home and wants to have a life. And so we try to develop a top-notch staff that it's all about the hospitality. So.
It sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the council? If not, Lindsay?
Dixon?
Yes.
Griswold?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Carson?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Taylor?
Yes.
Witten?
Yes.
Dawson?
Yes, ma'am.
Anderson?
Yes.
Right, under resolutions this evening, item 10A is authorizing the vacation of right-of-way and execution of a quitclaim deed for a portion of Miracle Road for the Woodward Oaks development. A public hearing is required.
We'll open up the public hearing. If you'd like to address the council, please come forward and give your name and address for the record. Seeing no one, we'll close the public hearing.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion second. Any questions? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Those are all of the items that we have on the agenda this evening.
Anyone have any other business they'd like to?
Yeah, I have one item I'd like to address. During our last meeting, I guess I made a mistake, and I just wanted to clarify that, and I spoke incorrectly about the Parks and Rec Board. I stated that I had only spoken to one person that reached out to me. The following day, I received a phone call correcting me, saying that I did speak to another person, and that conversation happened very early on in April, and I just wanted to apologize and just say that this was just a human error. It was not an intentional thing that I meant to do. So.
Okay. Anyone else? Okay. This time is the citizens' open forum. You can address the council about anything that you would like. Please come forward, give your name and address for the record, and you have 3 minutes to do that.
Good evening, Lindbergh B. Jackson, 814 North College. I want to address an issue that came up at our last council meeting concerning about $140,000 of CDGB monies that was needing to be used kind of urgently. I went back and I did a little research. We developed Henry Subdivision on the corner of Zealous Avenue and Tucker Avenue. We had hoped at some point in time that we would have been able to buy the property that the city has recently purchased. So in doing so, we left in the rear of Henry Subdivision, we left about approximately 1 acre that came in as an L-shaped piece of property. When confronted, Mr. Davis and our new assistant city manager, they said that the property was a potential drainage issue there. And with the city needing property in Northwest Auburn, I brought my engineer in to look at this. We have a total of 6 residents there, none over 1,000 square feet. It's not a shopping center. It's not a drastic runoff. It runs off at about I think he told me about a 6 or 7%. If the city had approached the property owner that has that L-shaped piece of property, he says that he would willingly work with the city, which could increase those 7 lots to approximately 10 lots with a cul-de-sac. I would think that it would have been more feasible for the city to put in a cul-de-sac, gain 3 additional lots, 3 additional homes in that area. It's almost like you couldn't see the forest for the trees. Nobody approached the home. The person that owns it, it's a rental property. He has no intentions of using this property. So I think that innovative and creative ideas, I don't know if the engineering department looked at it. I don't know if planning looked at it, but there is enough. And I'll address this tomorrow night. Hopefully I'll have some kind of a drawing or sketch. But in terms of the feasibility of utilizing all of the property to its highest and best use, I think that the city would behoove the city to look at purchasing the additional property, putting in a small cul-de-sac. Maybe the $140,000 could have been used there. But it appears that no one approached anyone about the additional property, and we don't see a drainage issue as of yet. Now, I'll have my engineer there tomorrow night to make sure that what I'm saying is correct. But I think that the city needs to actively, we have a crisis in North Carolina. And in order to address that, we need people to take an interest in our neighborhood from the city and the engineering standpoint.
Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Anyone else?
Linda Dean, 474 Scott Street. I just wanted to tell you how excited I am that you all are participating in the Green Dot training program. I have used that training program with anti-bullying programs that I run for the university. And it's about training bystanders to intervene in a safe way. Quite a few of you have children, and bullying is a huge problem among children. But you can, looking at it from the child's point of view, it's they're afraid to intervene. Bullying also takes place, believe me, at the adult level. And so the Green Dot program people have worked with our own training programs, and they're great. So I hope you all will all take the time to go through that. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Looking forward to it. Anyone else? Okay. One thing I forgot to mention, today I was able to be a part of the Summer Reading Initiative over at the library, and a lot of great energy over there, and I just continue to applaud Chris and his staff for just thinking creatively and outside the box of how they engage the citizens and get them excited about reading, and it was a fun time to be over there, and we took a humorous picture of a couple of children who didn't want to be in the picture with me, and I didn't have my feelings hurt. It was good to laugh at, so if you see that on social media. Anyway, it was good, and I just wanted to quickly mention that. All right. Anything else from the council? We have a move to adjourn?
So moved.
All right, we adjourn.